because you can get fights easy and they pay you right away. But he said, I was a boxer no matter what. Started boxing at the age of 18. But because, Doug, once you turn pro as an MMA fighter, you're not allowed to have any amateur fights.
Oh.
So he said that's why he had no amateur fights on his record, but he did train as an amateur. And he's a live one. He's a live dog. He's been in the bubble a couple times for Top Rank, and here he is on Thompson Boxing.
His counterpart, Richard Brewart.
Cool Breeze is the nickname. 9-0, 4 KOs from Rancho Cucamonga, a Thompson Boxing fighter, making his way through the club scene. And the last time we saw him, he was in a tough one, and all three of us thought that he came up short to Nate Weston, got the judge's decision. Said he's learned from that. I'm moving on. Excellent boxer, fine young man. Kind of kid you want to root for, easy for there. And with Henry Ramirez in his corner, they do a great job. Should be an excellent co-feature tonight.
We continue with the action here at the Omega Products International Event Center, presented by Thompson Boxing Promotions. It is 3-2-1 Boxing, being sponsored by Thompson Boxing Building Materials, Henry Fortifiber, Infinity Bank, Western Manufacturing, and Makita Tools. This bout set for a distance of 6 rounds or less in the junior middleweight division. Our judges at ringside are Jonathan Davis, Christy Rosario, and Max DeLuca. The ref in charge of the action, Ivan Guillermo. Presenting first, the fighter standing in the red corner. He enters wearing black with silver trim on the scale. He weighed in at an official 155 3/4 pounds. Tonight, he enters the ring for the 8th time as a pro with an outstanding record of 6 victories against 1 lone defeat, 2 of those victories coming by way of KO. Representing Riverside, California, Donte Savage Stubbs. Across the ring in the blue corner, wearing blue with neon green trim, his official weight, 155 3/4 pounds. Tonight, he puts his undefeated professional record on the line, consisting of 9 victories. 4 of those victories coming by way of KO. Fighting out of Rancho Cucamonga, California, Richard Cool Breeze Brewart.
Gentlemen, you both received your instructions in the locker room. Chunks are good. When the bell rings, come out fighting. Let's go.
6 rounds scheduled. Look at the tape, Doug Fisher.
These guys match up almost perfectly, physically speaking. Stubbs is the older man by 4 years and has a very slight reach advantage.
And Steve, Archbishop Stubbs says no relation unless he wins.
That's how it works.
Unless he wins. Beth Duran, Steve Kim, Doug Fisher, and Jessica Rosales, our co-feature on 3-2-1 Boxing. Stubbs in all black. He's from Riverside, California. Brewart in the blue and neon, lime green actually, from Rancho Cucamonga. They know each other. They know of each other. Brewart been on the Thompson scene. Stubbs fought on Top Rank shows twice. And Stubbs actually told me that I know who Brewart is. I watched his last fight. And at the weigh-in yesterday, they were all over each other. It's been a while since we had a good weigh-in, people in each other's face. I missed that.
Yeah, I like it. It's personality. It's what makes boxing boxing.
Yeah, you know, COVID, you can't have people around and all that other stuff, but you know, you get in each other's face. But you could tell that Stubbs had a little wink in his eye, like, yeah.
He wants to get under Richard's skin, obviously. And I think, you know, as a fighter, he knows what it's like to either win a very close fight or controversial fight, or lose a close or controversial fight, and it can bug the fighter. And if you can bring that fight up, if you can bring up that controversy, maybe you can create doubts in your opponent's head.
And Steve, Brewer's a fighter that has been going through some adversity lately inside the ring, right? You guys called the fight where he was dropped?
Yeah, and the fight prior we talked about with Nate Weston, I thought he was really indecisive in the middle rounds. Weston was laying a lot of traps. This is a much simpler style. I'm not saying that Stubbs is easy by any means, but in terms of deciphering what he's going to do, there came a point in that last fight with Weston Brewart started to really hesitate and doubt when he should pull the trigger because he was running into counter punches. Not sure that dynamic really exists in this particular matchup.
Yeah, Stubbs is athletic. He's fast. He's got decent reach and good experience for somebody who didn't have any amateur bouts. But he's game. He's kind of flat-footed, and he's going to be way more aggressive than Nate was.
Yeah, you'll be able to find the Savage Stubbs. He will stand there and trade with you. He likes doing that. He counters with the left hook. Stubbs also watching a couple shows on the Top Rank. He loves to throw that wild overhand right to catch opponents. I think that's what caught Brewart.
Yeah, when Brewart went down,
Yeah.
it was kind of a wild, and it was from an awkward kind of rangy puncher. And when Brewart went down in that fight before the
December,
Nathan
right?
Weston fight, yeah, he was hurt. It was he got up on wobbly legs, and he showed some real character surviving that round and then coming out in the very next round and stopping his opponent. I see this right now as kind of a battle of wits and reflexes and right hands. Richard likes to whip his right hand straight to the midsection, sometimes over the top, and Stubbs likes an overhand right. But both right hands carry a lot of pop.
Good left hand from Stubbs. Good opening round between Brewart and Stubbs here on 3-2-1 Boxing from Omega Products International in Corona, California. As always, if you're redoing your house, you're working on a house, or you're just a man in construction or a lady, you want to go to Thompson Building Materials. We've got yards in Orange, Fontana, Lomita, Camarillo, San Diego, Ripon, Sacramento, ThompsonBLDG.com. And sorry, Tony Contreras, much to your dismay, our good friend Miguel Cubos is not fighting tonight. We can't get anybody to step in that ring with that cruiser / heavyweight. Remember that guy, Doug Cubos? He comes from Cali. We had him in Sacramento, where he has the worst body.
Oh, yeah.
And he throws punches and bunches, and he waves at the crowd to come on in. And he doesn't win the fights, but he wins the crowd like no other.
Yeah, that's a lot to deal with. Nobody wants that smoke.
Oh, indeed. And Kubo's actually watching the fights with us. Whatever comments you guys have on the Thompson Facebook page, let them be. And as always, I can't say this enough. Thanks to everybody who listens and contributes. Aaron Sheik sending a picture. Aaron, if you're going to take a picture of Steve Kim, make sure it's not blurry. Like, we need some better pictures than us. Also, our man, Julianes from ESPN Knockout, always supporting us. Miguel Rueda, his dad, and Tim Boxeo. Make sure you guys listen to the Tim Boxeo podcast. If you're a club show head, or if you want to know anything about fights in Albania to Albany, Tim Boxeo has it for you. And of course, Talk Boxing Podcast, the 3 Knockdown Rule with Steve Kim.
These guys cannot afford to make a mistake. I'll tell you what, because they're both so reflexive. They've got such good reflexes. Both guys have above average quickness with their mitts. So they can't fall in the habit of throwing the same punch sequence over and over again. They can't go with like jab, right hand, hook to the body. They can't do that repeatedly because the other one will pick up on it and counter them in between shots. So they have to continually kind of switch up the punch variation.
Interesting, both of these fighters raise animals. Stubbs, French bulldogs. Brewer's family also in the dog raising breeders. So if you want to,
do they both post the puppies, the dogs on their
Stubbs
Instagram?
actually does it.
Yeah.
Brewer's father's the one who does
I
it.
see.
Who has the kennel. So they got some dog in them. Oh, I had to.
Oh.
I had to. Come on now.
You had to take that shot.
Come on, Steve. Who let the dog go?
And this the second round's not an easy round to score either. I would say this is sort of tit for tat.
Body work from Brewart, trained by Henry Ramirez. Brewart a little lighter on his feet, isn't he?
No, he's boxing well. I actually think he's beating Stubbs to the punch. Stubbs needs to initiate his attack a little bit earlier. I just heard his corner basically say, hey, look, cut off the ring and don't chase the guy. I actually disagree, Doug. I think this has been a pretty strong round for Brewart tactically.
Cut man, Big Serge Estrada is in Guadalajara, Mexico. He's working Anderson Silva against Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Big Serge, what's happening? Good luck to you. Get paid, Serge. That's all we care about. Good comments coming in. Devin Garner is on Team Stubbs, and he's letting us know that that's how he conditions and trains. And there's our main event, Ivan Leon Benitez. He's coming up next. Benitez from Aguascalientes, Mexico. He'll be taking on Michael Dutch over in the main event. You see, that's the corner of Donte Stubbs.
Steve, do you have the first and the second round scored for Brewart?
Yeah, right now my scorecard reads 20-18. I thought the first round was really close, edged that to Brewart. The second round, Brewart did a nice job of hitting on the fly, boxing, initiating his attack a little earlier, and then I thought a really nice transition from offense to defense for Brewart won that round. Stubbs is going to have to pick up the pace a little bit and start closing that gap before this fight gets too far out in front of him.
That was Henry Ramirez in the corner of Richard Brewart. Third round of action coming your way. Brewart, lime green and blues, comes out with the body attack. Nice matchup here by Alex Campanovo from Thompson Boxing. And a 3-2-1, it's never easy. Even when it is easy, you have to work for it. I mean, even when it looks easy, it's because guys work hard. Good shot landed by Brewer, roll with it, did Stubbs.
Yeah, this is the most mobile and slippery I've ever seen Richard Brewart.
Yeah, and in this fight, unlike the one against Weston, he's much more decisive in his moves. I thought against Weston, there was a lot of indecision with Brewart, where I think he was second-guessing even when to throw punches. In this one, he seems to be in really good command of his movements. Consistently beating Stubbs to the punch, and then just like that, getting out of there. And by the time Stubbs kind of peeks out from that high guard of his, Brewart's already out of there.
That right to the body was one of the few punches that he was able to land consistently against Nate Weston.
Stubbs in the black, went to Ramona High School in Riverside, played football, said he was in a bunch of street fights, joined the Navy. He was a third chief petty officer on the USS Ronald Reagan, and that's where he learned to box. He was part of the Navy boxing team, and he would be on the ship, done with his shift, and he was learning to box on the ship. So they would have sparring sessions, training sessions on the USS Ronald Reagan, and a year later, the Navy boxing program was eliminated. But he said he continued with it. The boxing is what he wanted to do. And here he is as a pro.
You know, you look at the way Stubbs plays defense at high guard, and that's very good for deflecting punches, and you can find safe shelter. The problem is, it's difficult to actually counterpunch because you've got to wait for contact to be made, and you're always going to be a beat behind, just like that right there. That's one of the things. You're not able to really effectively counterpunch from that type of style if you're going to employ that high guard exclusively.
That was low. That was a low blow.
And referee Ivan Guillermo calls time. Y saludos a Miguel Cubos. Speaking of Miguel Cubos, he's watching us right now. ¿Cómo estamos, Cubos? Desde San Luis, Rio Colorado. To add on to Donte Stubbs. Stubbs did 2 camps with Triple G, including the last one where Triple G was training in Hollywood, Florida.
He's very game. He's a tough guy. You can see, you know, you can tell the lack of amateur background. But he makes up for it with that heart. He just pounded his chest. He's not just a breeder. I mean, he's a dog himself.
Yeah, he is.
and he has that determination.
Overhand right, strong round ending for Donte Stubbs. And he's feeling good inside, mocking Brewart. Daniel Ochoa says Brewart looks more relaxed and more focused from his last 2 previous fights. I completely agree. People are saying Stubbs is tired. I don't know. I think that's how he fights.
That's how he fights, and the Stubbs corner believes that Brewart's is tiring out. They believe that his pressure was getting to Brewart in that 3rd round, and that's why Brewart hit him low. They don't think that it was an accident. They thought it was deliberate in order to slow down Stubbs' momentum. That's why he didn't take that long during that break.
Coming up next, the main event, Michael Dutchover and Ivan Benitez. So everybody from Midland, Texas, make sure you guys let people know what's going on. Your guy is coming up next. Steve, you from Midland? You from Midland?
I'm more of a Permian guy.
You're from Midland. That's what you want me to. Friday Night Lights reference, Doug. I know you don't know anything about high school football, but
It's like you guys are speaking another language.
there was a scene in the movie where the kid is from Midland, and he's from Permian, the doctor from Midland, rival schools, and the doctor's like, oh, no, you can't play. Your knee's messed up. He's like, because you're from Midland. Good round, back and forth action in the 3rd between Donte Stubbs in the black, Richard Cool Breeze Brewart in the blue and lime. Charlie Ponce, let's go. Loaded Cafe in Bellflower. I'll be there tomorrow morning, actually. 432 checking in. Make sure you share in Midland, Texas. Let them know that Dutch over is coming over. You're right, Dominic Roberts. It was Midland. Midland, what he said. Here, Stubbs' corner saying he can't take your shots. Uppercut from Brewart, hits and moves. Stubbs had like a smirk on his face of your shots aren't effective.
Stubbs ate an uppercut, just walked right into it.
He was used twice on the top-ranked bubble. His last fight, though, if you look at BoxRec, is a no contest. He tested positive for a banned substance. I asked him about that. He said he doesn't know what happened, that his testosterone levels came back higher than expected. He tried to appeal it. They wouldn't let him. They gave him a 9-month suspension, cleared it. He took a drug test before this fight, passed it, and he's going to take another drug test after this fight. He said, no problem. I have no problem showing it. But he said he didn't
It's too bad about that result if he did not
he said he
willfully take a performance-enhancing drug.
He said he
because
doesn't do that.
He looked good. He looked good in that fight. He had lost a close decision in the bubble 1 year ago. And, of course, those fights were televised on ESPN, so it's great exposure. It's great experience for the fighter. You know, they do the fighter meetings. They get to talk to Andre Ward and Tim Bradley and Joe Tessitore and all that, and then they fight in a national television audience. He came back 9 days later and fought a tough opponent and dropped him twice. Dropped him in the 3rd and 5th round, I think, with big overhand rights. And, you know, won a deserved decision. So actually, regardless whether he got the W or if it's a no contest or no decision, that was still really good experience for him. Also, the last time he fought.
Yes, it is.
So he could be working out some, you know, the first couple of rounds, he could have been working out some ring rust.
Good left-handed by Stubbs. Enough to steal a round. Who knows as we head to the 5th. Miguel Montelongo in Pasadena. Saludos también a Adrián in Pasadena, California. Iram Sanchez, if you're Team Dutchover, why don't you share on Facebook, let people know that Dutchover is coming up next. Marcos Hernandez has 4-0 easy work. I don't know about easy work there. Marcos.
Beto, I don't disagree. I have it 40-36 for Brewart, but I think every round, particularly the 3rd and 4th, have been relatively close. I think there's a particular pattern. Brewart starts off the rounds very quickly, beating Stubbs to the punch, but over time, Stubbs' steady pressure starts to make it very difficult on Brewart by the end of the round. One thing Stubbs has to do here is running out of time. He's got to really press the pace here. He's got 6 minutes.
You get the feeling he understands that with the pace that he just set to start off this round 5.
I could see 4-0. I was referring to the easy work. It hasn't been easy.
No, nothing easy about it. That's one of the most overused words in boxing. Easy. It's never easy.
I agree with you, Devin. Stubbs making it tough for Dutch over, but he's got to step it up here in the 5th round. Lenny Hernandez saying, let's finish strong, Junior. And that's something that we've seen with Richard Brewer working with Henry Ramirez, the evolution of a young fighter, where learning to go different rounds, going and how to actually box and set up an opponent.
Yeah, and to his credit, and Henry Ramirez's credit, and the credit of Brewart's team, he's learning against real professional opposition. He's getting real resistance in there. He's fighting guys that are entering the ring believing that they can beat him and really making an effort to either knock him out or outbox him.
And as if you're a young fighter, yeah, you like fighting early on, but eventually you want to get out of the club scene, you want to get to the bigger shows. Like Yu Acosta, who fought here, then 2 weeks later had a chance to fight on the Telemundo show, gets bigger name recognition. Got the Tuto Zavala show. And there you see a big breath from Donte Stubbs. Okay, now it's starting to wear on him.
Yeah, because he's swinging and missing with such big shots.
And that takes a lot out of you, too.
Absolutely.
Right, big swing and a miss.
You know, one thing about Stubbs, though, I actually think he's having a decent 5th round, but this is only a 6th-round fight. And you go back to the experience that Brewer's getting, this is what he's going to have to learn how to do, because I get the sense he's a slightly above-average puncher. And as he moves up the ladder, most of his fights are going to go 7, 8-plus rounds. This is what he is. He's going to be a long-distance runner. He's not going to score a lot of quick, easy knockouts in the foreseeable future.
And Steve, if that's the case, then this is the right style for him.
Body work from Brewer. Now Stubbs switching around. Gets caught with the right hand.
There you go, son. Turn them hands up, Donte. Let's go. Work.
You're Henry Ramirez in the corner saying we need more work for you. For Richard Brewer with 13 seconds to go in the 5th round.
Work. Over him.
That'll do it for 5. Coming up next, the main event, Dutch over Benitez. Here on 3-2-1 Boxing. See Stubbs getting advice from his corner. Brewart. Richard Brewart also helps out his family, takes care of his uncle.
International Event Center. 1 more to go. This is the 6th and final round.
The voice of Lupe Contreras, La Voz del Box. Always smooth, always classy, always pro. They touch gloves for the 6th and final round. And Stubbs is talking. Like, come on, baby, right here. A desperate Stubbs coming out strong.
Stay low. Get low, Richard. Get low. Stand. Come underneath.
If you're Brewer, you don't want to do this, do you?
Well, this is the issue. If you play 4 corners, believing you have the lead, that might be the smart tactic. The problem is, you might be giving Stubbs an opportunity to build up momentum. You've got to do just enough offensively so that you're not completely off. You don't want to completely put off the off switch just yet. Stubbs, though, certainly fighting with the right sense of urgency, given the fact I think most people believe he is significantly behind. But Beto, you look at Brewert's face, his mouth is wide open. His gas tank is, I don't want to say it's on E, but it's certainly getting there. This has been a pretty tough run here because Stubbs, if anything, he has been able to put on constant, steady pressure.
And some blood from the mouth of Richard Brewart. Stubbs the stalker here in the 6th and final round. Right hand from Stubbs, but not much behind it.
Yeah, at this point in time, you look at that. No real leverage, no torque, no shifting of the body. Stubbs, for the most part, has been relegated. He eats a good straight right hand there into a very, very wary arm puncher at this juncture.
You hear the corner from Stubbs, so keep your hands up, don't do that. Hands really low from Donte Stubbs. There's time he covers up. Body work from Brewart.
Over the top. Over the top. Over the top.
Stubbs a lot of heart, but he's gassed. Overhand right blocked.
Let's go. Work. You got to suck it up.
Less than a minute to go.
That right to the body, that hurt Stubbs.
That hurt again. More body work from Brewart. Long minute to go for Stubbs. He's trying to cover up, gets hit. Looks at the referee. Can Brewart finish it? Brewert's gassed. Stubbs is gassed. Fun co-main. 30 seconds to go in the fight. Brewart holding on, trying to get rid of him. Brewert's cut on the right eye.
See blood.
Work. Let's go. Work.
Brewart might have pushed himself out. Final seconds of the 6th and final round. Good scrap between Richard Brewart, Donte Stubbs. Two Inland Empire kids going back and forth, and that'll do it for 6 rounds. They hug, and we'll be back with the decision from 3-2-1 Boxing in Corona.
Discover the advantages of the Henry Fortifiber 123 moisture control system. It's as simple as 1, 2, 3. Choose the weather barrier, add the flashing, then finish up with the Henry Moist Top Sealant. Done. No guessing, no gambling. Just the winning confidence you get from our compatible systems.
Experience the world's largest compatible cordless system. Makita's LXT batteries take you from power tools to outdoor power equipment. The blower delivers power comparable to a 24cc gas model. From the job site to your home, reach speeds of 116 miles per hour. Use Makita's cordless products anytime, anywhere. One system, endless possibilities. Now get 2 extra free batteries.
Here at the Omega Products International Event Center, after going the distance, judges Rosario and DeLuca turn in identical scores of 60-54, and Judge Davis scores it 58-56. All in favor of the winner by way of unanimous decision. Still undefeated, cool breeze, Richard Brewart.